Join us for this episode of the Whisky Bandit, Solange.
So today's episode, myself and my #1 bandister are going to cover how do you properly pick a whiskey glass, and laid out in front of us are a bunch of different glasses. Now when I grew up down in Cape Breton, here's how I drank whiskey, out of the bottle. Now that's your first method, but that's not the recommended method we use for high-end whiskey, right?
That's right.
Because we lose what? A lot of the flavor, a lot of the smell. But back then I was drinking for effect and not so much for flavor. Now I'm not the redneck that I used to be. Or am I? I guess that's still up for debate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pour some different whiskeys. Darren, what I'll get you to do is we'll try them and we'll go through some of the smell on them. So what we'll do is, you've already got a glass pouring. This is the type of glass that a lot of times you'd see somebody going to take whiskey on the rocks. Everything that we're going to do here today is going to be whiskey neat, where we're just straight whiskey. That's where you get the best flavor out of a whiskey, and that's where when you're trying out whiskey, even though we're right in the thick of summer here right now, and maybe whiskey on the rocks would be the way to go, but for our purposes, this is all whiskey neat. So take a smell of that, Darren, and tell me, what do you get? Is it strong? Is it?
It's actually kind of a mild smell on this one.
Okay, so it's one that you'd like to try?
I would like to try it.
Feel free.
I would.
Feel free, kiddo.
Okay, very nice.
Okay, now, this particular type of glass is specifically made for drinking whiskey neat. Now, set this one down, take this one, Derek, and smell that, and tell me, do you notice the difference between that, the smell and the flavor, like the essence that comes from the whiskey in that type of glass and this glass?
There is definitely a difference.
Okay, and is it more concentrated, is it a little stronger, or can you just really smell some of the fine points of the whiskey?
I don't know about that, Peter.
Does it smell better? Does it smell worse?
It actually smells more mild than this one.
Okay, so what happens is the way the glass, this glass is configured, it actually forces a cone of scent straight up into your nostrils. And here's a little trick when you go to smell, when you're smelling whiskey, is if you actually leave your mouth just open a tiny little bit. You know when you're going down the road and you roll up a window on a car, and all your windows are rolled up, and you roll the window down a tiny little bit and you get that baffling? Well, it's the same thing when you breathe in whiskey. So if you leave your mouth open just a tiny bit when you breathe it in, it actually, the smell goes through your nose and crosses back across your tongue, and it gives you a lot more enhanced flavor. I mean, I can just go, oh my God. Like this stuff is super, super good whiskey. So try that just with your mouth open just a tiny bit there. I meant smell it. I find it a lot easier to drink with your mouth open though. Okay, now just try smelling it. Just leave your mouth open a tiny bit.
Okay.
See the difference? Now try it with your mouth closed. Now try it with your mouth just a little bit open.
Okay.
Can you notice the difference? Because what it does is it pulls the vapors in and back out through your mouth, right? All right, so these two are what we were both referred to as this type glass as Bandistra approved and Whisky Bandit approved. Now, let's try it in, you walk up to the bar, you order a shot. Normally when you order a shot of whiskey, what you get, especially if you order neat, you're going to get 1 ounce shot of whiskey. I'm not measuring it out here, but let's just say for all intents and purposes, that's 1 ounce. There, try that one compared to the other one. Just smell, try one, try with your mouth closed a little and your mouth open a little.
Okay, yeah, there's a slight difference.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. Taste it from a glass like that. Now,
I like that.
now here's the thing is, the smaller the neck is on the whiskey, the more flavor that you get. Because what happens is on the big open glasses, is the alcohol tends to evaporate out of the glass quicker. And what that does is if you breathe that in right away, that can almost, if you're not a serious whiskey drinker, and you hold one of these big open face glasses like this, and you breathe that in, you're breathing in pretty much pure alcohol. And the whiskey we have here in front of us today, it's actually 43%. For you folks in other areas, that would be 86 proof. And you can breathe that stuff in, and after it's all gone, throw a little splash of that on a campfire and it'll fire right up because there's plenty of alcohol. So let's try a little more now. What we're going to do And here's the fun thing about doing what we're doing, is all this whiskey is not gonna go to waste. Because wherever we're trying, and we got audience here in the background. We got audience watching, we got Darren, I mean, we both like this stuff. Now try out of this glass. This one's a little bit different, and just pick that one up, try that one first, and then go back to that one, Darren. I'm gonna take a little sip.
A sip?
Just an open mouth smell first,
Okay.
and then take a little sip and breathe in at the same time. Oh my God. So far we've gone through different types of glasses. The original Cape Breton whiskey glass. Then we've got the whiskey shot glass. Then we've got an ideal glass, open like a fairly open faced but slightly channeled. A whiskey glass, which is ideal for whiskey on ice. Then we've got, for the real connoisseur drinking whiskey, this is actually designed specifically for drinking whiskey neat. Nothing in it. Pure, you're a pure whiskey aficionado, this is what you want to be drinking out of. This type of glass, this one gives it the option of ice or no ice, and yeah, it does smell different, eh? It's amazing how you can smell that and it tastes different. Okay, so this one is pretty much almost the same, but you know what? Why don't you throw a little bit in that there? Being as how we're here and we have this whiskey, the last thing I want to do is see any of it go bad. I'm promising you none of it will. Okay, try a shot of that again, and do a comparison again. Quick one with that, and then go back to that one. It's hard to tell unless you do a direct comparison. So just a small smell and a taste. Liking it?
Oh, always.
I knew you would.
Always.
Okay, and then try that one.
I love that one too.
Now you still got a couple more choices. We're coming down to the final two. Actually, we're going to go down to this one. Now this has been a world favorite for whiskey drinkers. Whether they were in World War I, World War II, or any place they traveled that was cold, have a little flask of whiskey that they could put their favorite single malt in a thing like this and drink from it. The problem with this is, man, when you got whiskey in that, it's like, ooh, babe, you're gonna know that you're into really good whiskey. And then the final, and this is the cup that actually more spirits get drank out of than any other spirit in the world. Actually, you know what? This silver is we actually have this bottle by Lenore Distillery as well. I didn't realize it until I just looked behind the bar. We got all kinds of different stuff. But the number one choice of cup, and there, by the way, for any of you snooty whiskey people that happen to be watching this, there is no wrong cup, there is no wrong way to drink whiskey, and there is no one whiskey that's better than the other. Well, maybe kind of a little. But the ultimate glass is Red Solo Cup. I fill you up. How about throw a little bit of that in there?
Okay.
And then let's taste the difference of it between a Red Solo Cup and the proper whiskey glass. And you tell me, Dar, you're the expert on this. What do you think? Smell it? That's the problem with a Red Solo Cup. Okay, try a little bit more. Because I don't want to see any of that get wasted when I'm not on camera.
All right.
Grab that up. Go ahead. So you know what? If you're doing a tailgate party somewhere and you're into your single malt, you're down on the beach, you don't want to break a glass, Red Solo Cup, proceed to party. And on that note,
Like, share, and subscribe.
join the clan.
Join the clan.
All right, let's have a toast to that, kiddo. Red Solo Cup, and are you taking a wide mouth? You like that party? Party it is. My God, them boys at Glenora know how to make good whiskey.
They sure do.
Certainly do. Wow. All right, stay tuned for more.
Okay, so of all these glasses here, just want to let you know, number one, Whisky Bandit, your approved glass, right here, okay? But you're gonna find yourself at some occasions where you're at a party. Beach party, tailgate party, doesn't matter where you want to party. The only one way to go is Red Solo Cup, proceed to party. Cheers.